Howdy, everybody. Last situation here again. I'm going to go over the little preview that we got for the update coming out in early September, update 8.0.5.4. And it looks like there's some changes to both PvE and PvP of the Hunter. This is on Reddit right now, the Destiny team. And we're just gonna roll through these really quick, and then obviously we'll get more information when the time comes, and maybe they'll walk some of these back because some of these are kind of interesting. Actually, all of them are kind of interesting, but obviously, as we know, hunters have been kind of crazy in the Crucible lately. They've been having a lot of uptime with their stuff, which is, I mean, I'm not a big PvP player, but it didn't seem that bad when I was playing in trials the other week. Um, Maybe I'm just not playing against the right people that know how to spam the stuff effectively, but I played a lot more like warlocky type people, little floating and all that stuff. So, um, let me see. I was just gonna go through these really quick. But threaded specter aspect is gonna have an increased cooldown duration of marksman dodge and gambler's dodge when threaded specter is equipped. They're going to remove the dodge cooldown penalty after creating a clone. If the clone is destroyed by attacks, it no longer spawns threadlings. And then they're going to increase the amount of time the clone will distract nearby combatants before exploding. I'm not too sure how I feel about the clone no longer spawning threadlings when it's destroyed by attacks. I just feel like it's a good way to get a little upper hand on some things, flush them out a little bit. The threadlings are pretty easy to dodge. I don't really see it as that big of an issue, but swarm grenade. Next one is swarm grenade. Increase swarm grenade base cooldown by 15%, and then move swarm grenade to a slower recharge tier for non-passive grenade energy gains. Obviously, this is all stemming from PvP, pretty much, because they made a pass at swarm grenades first. They reduced the tracking of them, but now they're gonna hit them again with an increased cooldown and then a slower recharge tier. The smoke bomb melee is gonna have reduced time. The smoke bomb projectile lingers when you throw it and it sticks something, whether it be the ground or the wall. It's gonna have reduced. They're gonna reduce the time that it's there from 10 seconds to 3.5, and then they're gonna reduce the player movement penalty that you get when you walk through one of the smoke bombs if it's one of the opposing teams smoke bomb by 25%, which, I mean, I could kind of see that one does kind of stink when you get stuck in it, but it's also a smoke grenade, so I feel like it should have it should make it feel pretty good. But well, I'm still not thrilled. I'm not big on nerfs in general, but unless they're like needed. Um, so the reduced time that the smoke bomb can linger on the field, it's kind of head scratching. That's a big decrease in time that's there. I feel like 5 seconds, maybe cut it in half, or drop it down to 6 seconds. Uh, and then if they need to go down again, because I feel like 3.5 is like a lot to, or it's 3.5 is not very long to kind of use it to kind of trap something and be like, play into that whole aspect. But they will have more changes for episode 2. While we wanted the following to ship alongside the above changes, they need a bit more time in the oven. So these couple things here are going to be shipped later on. Threaded Spectre obviously is going to increase there's going to be an increase in detonation damage versus combatants by 33%. Then Swarm Grenade, they're going to have the Swarm grenade submunitions be easier to shoot, and the submunitions will chain detonate nearby submunitions, so they will just kind of set each other off. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not big on nerfs. I I'm much more in favor. I think like a lot of people are in the fact of they need to bring other things up before trying to slam these down. I feel like they just have such a hard time with getting these things right because they're changing when they're nerfing stuff, and then other stuff is coming into play, and they're nerfing. So everything's just getting nerfed. So it's just all getting watered down when you could just bump it up. The other things that really need to get bumped up, and then if you have to touch them, you can then just reduce them by a little bit if you have to. But I feel like if you brought other things up, you won't even have to take other things down. So this is off the Reddit, but we'll get more when they decide to make this official here in early September. Again, um, I just I feel like with the way stuff is kind of rolling, I feel like they need to not really bring so many nerfs, especially to the table right now, because I feel like it's just gonna push a bunch of people away. It does kind of stink because I do want to get into PvP more, and obviously it's gonna be a little more different. I mean, maybe it'll be more friendly to me then since all these changes are happening, but and also too, I'm new to the whole hunter uh, class, so I was a Titan main for the entirety of my D1 and D2 up until after Final Shape. I switched over to play hunter to try something new and made the game feel pretty fun and fresh again because I'm learning all that stuff and getting new gear and having to like min max a bunch of stuff, so that's kind of fun. But it's I'm just not sure this is the right way to go as of right now. I mean, I'm not a game dev, but I just I keep going back to thinking like some of these things are just they gotta let some of these things go because it's not. I just didn't. I don't think they're that bad. I played I think 5 hours or something like that of trials maybe the other weekend, and I really didn't think these abilities were that oppressive and spammy and all that stuff. So I really don't know. Like I saw a good mix of like pretty much everything. I think I saw more warlocks than hunters or titans. So that's just kind of a quick little taste of what they're kind of cooking up, and I guess maybe they'll revert some of these back. I was reading the comments on this post. I'm not gonna show them, but they're pretty unanimously the same thing. They're all wondering why these are both for PvE and PvP, especially when they said that they can completely shift PvE related stuff and it doesn't affect PvP and vice versa. So I feel like mess with it in PvE, change it on the PvP end, but don't really do it on the PvE end because I don't really know anybody who uses swarm grenades in PvE. I use the smoke bomb, but that's just for the weakening. Uh, and I don't use it as like a trap. I use it like right at where the enemy is at, so that way it goes off and like as soon as it hits the ground. Yeah, if you if you want to and you feel keen, you can let me know if you think differently or the same. Because, like I said, I'm new to the whole hunter field of play, so maybe I'm missing something. I'm gonna talk to my buddy that I play with a lot, and he's a hunter main and knows obviously a lot more of this stuff than I do. But I'm gonna pick his brain and see how he feels about this stuff. But I can't imagine he'll be okay with it either. He'll probably be kind of like head scratchy. But thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out my my video. I really do appreciate it. I'm not asking for any kind of like or subscribe. Just a views are nice right now because I'm just getting started and all this and figuring it out. So the views are really appreciated. So thanks for stopping by, and I will see you guys later. It's called art, Margaret.